Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Maritime Skipper again. I just want to say sorry for not posting last week. I was just busy and didn't have the motive to post. But here I am again. Today we'll be talking about SS Great Western, which probably might be our first passenger ship. Now we are in the 1800s, which would be the age of shipping, passenger liners, and the Great Eastern. Shall we begin? Let's go. SS Great Western of 1838 was a wooden hull paddle wheel steamship built of Dan-stick pine. The first steamship purpose built for crossing the Atlantic, and initial use of the Great Western Steamship Company. She was the largest passenger ship in the world from 1837 to 1839, which was then passed by the SS British Queen. Designed by British ship engineer Isbar, the King of Brunel, Great Western provided satisfactory in service, but it was a model for all successful wooden Atlantic paddle steamers. She was capable of making record blue ribbon voyages as late as 1843. If you don't know what blue ribbon is, the blue ribbon is an award given to the fastest passenger ship. Great Western walked to New York for 8 years till her owners went out of business. She was sold to Royal Mail Steam Packet Company and was scrapped in 1856 after serving as a troop ship during the Crimean War. The Great Western was an iron-strapped, wooden side-wheel paddle steamer with 4 masts or hoist auxiliary sails. The sails were not just to provide auxiliary propulsion, but also were used in rough seas to keep the ship on an even keel, and so that both paddle wheels remaining in the water, driving the ship in a straight line. The hull was built of oak, one source says, Dan-stick pine, by the traditional method. She was the largest steamship for 1 year until the British and Americans British Queen went into service. Built at the shipyard paddles in Mercer and Bristol, Great Western was launched on 19 July 1837, then sailed to London, where she was fitted with 2 side lever steam engines from the former Maiden Southern field, producing 715 indicated horsepower between them. Service history. 31st March 1838, Great Western sailed from Avonmouth, Bristol, to start a maiden voyage to New York. Before reaching Avonmouth, fire broke out in the engine room. During the confusion, Brunel fell 26 meters, was injured. Fire was extinguished and the damage to the ship was minimal, but Brunel had to be put in store on Canary Island. As a result of the accident, more than 50 passengers canceled their bookings for the Bristol-New York voyage, putting the Great Western finally departed Avonmouth. Only 7 passengers were aboard. Crazy, isn't it? Construction on the arrival of British and Americans, the first ship was delayed, and company chartered Cyrus to be Great Western in New York. Cyrus was a 700 GRT gross registered tons Irish steam packet on the London coke route, had part of a passenger accommodations removed to make room for extra coal bunkers. She left London 3 days before Great Western and refueled at coke, departed for New York on 4 April. Great Western was delayed in Bristol because of the fire and did not depart till April 8. Even with a 4-day head start, Cyrus only narrowly beat Great Western, arriving on 22 April. When coal ran low, the crew burned 5 drums of resin. Great Western arrived the following day with 200 tons of coal still aboard. Along the term, Blue Ribbon was not coined until years later. Cyrus is often credited first winner of the Blue Ribbon, 18.03 knots, 40.87 kilometers per hour. However, Cyrus only held the record for the day because Great Western's voyage was faster at 8.66 knots, 60.04 kilometers an hour. Fun fact about Cyrus, I believe you can check this if you like. I believe they had to burn some of the furniture and the masts because they were running low on the coal. You could get that fact, I believe, on an encyclopedia about the Titanic. That was a fun fact. Great Western provided a completely satisfactory service and influenced the design of other Atlantic paddlers. Even Cunard's Britannica was a reduced version of Great Western. During 1838-1840, Great Western averaged 16 days, 0 hours, 7.95 knots. Westward to New York in 13 days, 9 hours, 9.55 knots home. 1838, the company paid a 9% dividend. There was to be a firm's only dividend because of the expense of building the company's next ship. After the collapse of British and American, Great Western alternated between Avonmouth and Liverpool before abandoning Avonmouth retired in 1843. The ship remained profitable even though she lacked the running mate because of the projected construction in Great Britain. 1843, Great Western's recipients was GP 33,400 I believe, against expenditures of GP 25,600 pounds. The company's fortunes improved in 1845 when Great Britain entered service. However, in September 1846, Great Britain ran ashore because of navigational error and was not expected to survive the winter. The directors suspended all sailings of Great Western went out of business. Great Western had completed 45 crossings for owners in 8 years. 1847, she was sold to the Royal Mail Steam Packet Company and used on the West Indies run. Southampton became a new home port for where she made 14 voyages to the West Indies between 1847 and 1853, before being put on a South America run and made another 9 voyages to Rio de Janeiro between 1853 and 1855. South America runs she called at Lisbon, which is the capital of Portugal. Madeira, I do not know where that is. Tenerife is an island in the Canary Islands. It's most famous for having an accident in aviation happen there. St. Vincent's, I believe it's St. Vincent's in Grenada. I do not know. Fact check for me and answer that in the comments if you like. Fernando, I do not know where that is as well. And Bahrain, I do not know where that is as well. On the way to Rio and then in reverse on return passage. The Great Western was laid up at Southampton before being taken in government service as transport number 6. She served as troops at the Crimean War in 1856, carrying soldiers between United Kingdom, Gibraltar, and Malta on the Crimean Peninsula. August 1856, she was sold for scrapping and was broken up at Castle's Yard, Mailbrain Bank on the Thames. Well, there you have it. That was an interesting and calm and nice story of the SS Great Western. We are now in the age of the 1800s, like I said in the beginning of the video. And then after 1800s, you have the 1900s and 2000s. And then after that, we might mix it up a little bit, maybe doing what ifs and the facts and all that kind of stuff. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you next week. Be sure to subscribe and share my YouTube channel and other videos as I am desperately trying to get to 20 subscribers. Thank you, and goodbye.